Hello, everyone. Welcome. Today is Monday, July 11th, 2022. I am Solid Blue Sister, and this is My Turn to Talk. Welcome, Frankie. You're number one today. Turn my phone down so we don't get calls. Welcome, Friendly Differences Podcast. Welcome, welcome. Oh boy, welcome, welcome. Okay, I am going to stop the music right here. Well, maybe let that play a little bit longer. Okay, and to anyone listening over on YouTube, Twitter, or Facebook, welcome, welcome. Okay, so I'm gonna get started on this Monday afternoon in Southern California. Um, Today my title is "When You're Young, you play in a tree. So when you're old, you sit under the shade. What do you want to accomplish before you get old? And what do you consider old? And I know this show may sound like some of my previous shows about your bucket list. What do you want to do before you die? But I see a little twist on this because you hear a lot of um, young people talk about a bucket list, and uh, I hope Shy Lady doesn't mind me referencing her daughter who just had a birthday, and she just turned 26, and she says that she's getting old, and I thought that was funny, but I do hear the millennial crowd talk about how they're getting old. Okay, I am a baby boomer, and when I hear the millennials say, they're getting old, I kind of chuckle. But then again, I think about what I said when I was around that age, and I'm like, yeah, I'm getting old. So again, welcome Power Girl and welcome Chill. So again, when I said when you're young, you play in a tree, and when you're old, you sit under the shade. So again, what do you want to accomplish before you get quote unquote old? And what do you consider old? Is old someone who is walking with a cane and they're 80 years old? Is old 60? Is old 50? Is old, 65 when you're supposed to, retire? What is old? What do you want to do before you get old? Now, when I look back at my years, I think about all the things that I've done, and I think I've done a lot. I think I've done a lot of things that I'm proud of. I've done some things that I'm not so proud of. Um, but I think I've pretty much done everything that I've wanted to do, and right now I'm in the process of 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 doing something that will benefit my son. It's more so for him than it is for me. But what do you consider old? And do you want to be that person that when you're 90 you're still playing in a tree? Because you do have a lot of elderly people who still do things that some younger people, quote unquote younger people, won't do. You have, the elderly people or the older people who are jumping out of planes, who are, bungee jumping and getting into extreme sports. You have some of them who are going back to school, you know, um, and I applaud those people. I applaud the people who, just because their hair may be getting gray or they may be moving a little slower, whatever, that they're still going out there and enjoying life. They're still getting the most out of life that they can, that they're not just sitting under the shade. But then again, welcome Ninja Bunny, but then again, at the same time, there's nothing wrong with sitting under the shade. So, first, I guess I want to ask everyone, what do you consider old? Is old just something that's in your mind? Is it, just, like they say, age is nothing but a number? Or do some people really put a number on age? I look at those people who go out and they do the Botox, and they get tucks here and they get tucks there, what have you. And I always kind of, laugh at those people, because to me, you should age gracefully. You shouldn't have to enhance yourself as you get older, but some people do. And, you know, um, when you see young people going through that, do they think they're getting old, or do they just want to look a certain way? I mean, what is getting old? So that's my question today. Welcome, Maverick. Chill, since you always say that I never say, hey, what's up? So, hey, Chill, what's up? But, I mean, honestly, guys, what is getting old? Because, like I said, I am a boomer, and I don't feel old at all. Welcome, Lou Rock. Welcome back. I don't feel old at all. Um, I don't think I'll be old until the day I die. You know, um, and even then, I still may not be old. So, anybody want to share? So usually you all are like hitting me up on the panel. But let's see. Ba, I know, and this is Ba guys. Ba is under our Friendly Differences podcast. So this is Ba. So I know Ba is at work, and I appreciate you listening in when you're at work. But anyway, okay. So since you all are not going to, no one wants to join me on the panel. That's okay. I will continue running my mouth. So, when I first moved to California, one of the first things that I did was, yeah, I did. I jumped out of a plane. And it was one of the most exciting and most thrilling things that I've ever done. And if I had the time more so than the money, because it is expensive. But if I had the time, I would definitely want to become a jump master. So, Bah, oh, you're up here. Okay.
How's
Welcome,
the
welcome.
audio?
The audio's fine.
Is it?
Yep,
It is
yep,
quite
yep, yep.
a noisy factory. So if there's any background noise, I'll mute myself.
I don't hear any background.
Okay. Well, I'm actually excited tonight. I've come into work, and the email that I was left saying no work tonight, so just amuse yourself. So I get paid tonight for being on Podbean and watching Netflix and whatever. uh,
Hey,
yeah. So
so
this subject, I would say it's very subjective. I would say things like, are you too old at maybe 70 years of age to join a football team? Well, the answer is yes. But are you, that's it's all about what you're asking your body to do. I think a lot of this could be surrounded with how physically old are you, not mentally, because it's all good seeing older people enjoying themselves and getting active and doing things, but when their body is not up to it, I think that's where you would probably have to sit down and say, look, my days have gone for doing these kind of activities. I'll, you know, I don't know.
Well, okay, well then, let me ask this then. Okay, so you're saying 70 is too old to play football. But what if you have a
Hmm.
bunch of 70, 75-year-old people who want to play football? It's not like they're going to be tackling you, like
Hmm.
someone who's 20 or something, but they're just running around, tossing the ball,
Hmm.
whatever.
Yeah.
Is that okay? And if your grandmother wanted to do sports or whatever, would you
Hmm.
talk her out of it, even though she wanted to do it and she was having fun? Would you talk
Yeah.
her out of it because you thought she was too old?
I mean, because I mean that is a good example. If my grandma or granddad at that age wanted to take up a sport that was physically um, demanding, then yeah, I feel I would have to, because you also have to worry about them breaking a leg, and at that age, when you break a leg or have an injury, it can take longer to heal, and
True.
maybe so that, I mean, anyone who didn't try and talk their parents out of it or grandparents out of it, I would find that that would be quite, I would rather they did, you know.
Okay, but so let's take the physical out of it. So let's
Mhm.
look at the mental, because you have some people who are young but who are mentally old.
Yeah.
Welcome, Doss. So how old? I mean, what is old?
I mean, I don't want to bring up the elephant in the room, and I think we will leave it. I don't want to go down that route, but mentally as well is another option. Like if someone's at an elderly age and they're maybe losing their memory, or um, maybe not, struggling with difficult situations. I think obviously this is why it's subjective, because you might get someone in their 80s that's running marathons and very, actively, educated and going to school still, and they might, come up against me and just blow me away. So this is why these kind of shows I'm not really good at, because I think everything is subjective
No,
in regards to.
and it is, because I look at my mom. My mom passed when last October, when she was 86, and you could not get anything past her. Her mind was sharp. She still walked, 2 miles a day. She was, I mean, she was an active elderly person. She could still get down on her knees and play a game of jacks, and she would always want to go first. And you would never get a turn because she would go 1 through 10 and completely win. So again, you know, um, what is old. And yes, I do understand that some people, as they get older, their mental um, faculties do start to leave them. But again, you have some younger people who mentally they're not all there. um, so I guess again, not only what you consider old, but what do you want to do before you get unquote old. So Chill, welcome.
Thank you for welcoming me to your show today. It's wonderful. Thanks for having me. How is everyone?
Oh, you are so funny.
So,
I am doing well.
that is awesome. That's absolutely great.
So do you want to
What's up,
chime in?
everybody? Yeah, I think, in reference to just the age thing, um, too old is when you just can't do nothing to no more. Because I see 60-year-olds act like 80-year-olds. But
Hmm.
I mean, they old. Old is a matter of the heart and physical capabilities, I think. But they can be both or one and the same. Or sometimes you just got somebody that's really astute, still witty. They just, they ain't got it no more. They just, there's a lot of older people like that. They ain't no fool, but they just ain't, you ain't hopping up and around nowhere. But it's always good to see somebody that's limber and nimble, and as an older. Women are typically like that because men, we're kind of brutes as young children. When we work, especially a man, he works, 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 works. By the time you get 70, it's a wrap. You know what I'm saying? So it's just, I mean, to hell, by the time we get 50, it's a wrap. Just for physically, it's just we break down everything. So unless you staying active and healthy, especially men, it's gonna be hard to be any kind of limber and all of that. Like playing jack, ain't nobody. I tell you right now, I can't get no. Your grandma way better than me because I can't get on. I ain't getting on my knees and playing no damn jacks. Mm-mm.
Okay, okay. Doss said men age much poorly than women because we have to deal with women.
Oh well, that's a good
All
point.
right,
That's a
all
great
right.
point, though.
So, okay, so let me ask this, and yes, I'm going to go down the sex route. Okay, um, I have a friend who feels that um, her parents, who are in their 80s and who she says are still sexually active, she thinks that they should chill. And my thing is, first of all, you shouldn't be in their business. And second, if they can still enjoy each other that way, why not? And she just feels that at a certain age, you're just supposed to stop up, don't do it anymore, just sit there and hold hands. So do you guys feel that if you're 100 years old and you're still able to function on a sexual level, that you should still be able to do it? I mean, there's no rule when you should stop. Bye, chill, somebody.
I agree. I think if they're up for it, then let them be. As Doss says, let them bang, bro. That's
Like,
funny. That's funny.
okay, and Alpha Mike says if you can get it up, then keep going like the Energizer Bunny. Yeah, I mean, and Alpha Mike says you're never too old. Words have power. The more you say you're too old, the more your body will believe it. Stay young. So, why do you think? And I'm being serious, even though some of you all will say women. Why do you think women tend to live longer than men?
Oh wow, how long have you got? Do you want to do a part two already? uh, no, but joking aside, I think what was it Doss that said men age much poorly than women. I, um, I would say men, and this could open up a can of worms, but men have a lot more stress to deal with. Men are generally in jobs that are more physically demanding. Yeah, I'll leave it at those two for just now. I don't know if you agree or disagree, but I'll leave it at those two.
You want to go and keep going? Welcome, Juju. You want to keep going, putting your
I
foot
mean,
in your mouth?
I know. Well, like, hey, I'll easily open up about like my situation is, I'm a welder, so I'm going to work. I'm breathing in fumes. I know my life. I'm not probably going to reach my. I'd be happy if I got to my 70s, but in this field, it's not really a thing. Whereas my wife, she works in an apothecary. Most women maybe choose to work in retail or dress up to go to work, so it's not. Um, they're not working in polluted industries like breathing in shit and lifting heavy things. A lot of men have
Okay.
back problems when they get older. And then the stress. Obviously, I know we've touched on this up before in your show, but the stereotype, the gender roles where the man has to go out and work and look after the family, and the most, well, not most, but some women have children and if one parent doesn't work, it's usually the woman. So that all adds to the average age of men being dying earlier than women. And again, I say some and I say average.
You shoot it back out of that one. So, all right. Alpha Mike says because women stress men out to kill them faster. All right. And Dawes says a good point. Just consider the fact that if there's some kind of disaster, it's always women and children first. Well, you can't always push them out the way and you go to the front of the line. And Alpha Mike says there are female welders who are straight women as well. Oh, look at this. And I say hello to Jester, and Jester says hello to Friendly Differences first. I tell you, you, Jester, you and Ba got this bro thing going on. He comes on my show and says hello to Ba first. Ain't that about a blip? That's okay, Jester. I'm going to remember that. All right. Oh boy, my man. Then he gonna laugh and then say hello. Yeah. All right. All right. So, Chill, do you want to echo what Bob said,
Echo.
or
Trying
you
to
want
beef with
to?
me too, huh? I ain't listen. I ain't trying to start no trouble. Well, I mean, I mentioned it. We work, men, especially like we do shit. We do mentally shit that's gonna decrease your you know lifespan. I'm pretty sure playing football and getting tagged in the head or any kind of like physical rugby. You know what I'm saying? That's probably not good for your lifespan. And getting knocked in the head a couple hundred times a week is probably not.
But that's by choice. So,
No. That's not by choice. That's just a lifestyle for a young
what
man.
didn't you say if you were playing football?
Yeah, I mean, that's just. I mean, it's not like we don't. I mean, it's not like yes, it's by choice, but then it's not by choice. Is what I'm saying. When you have a culture full of things like it, we use the phones, and I say right now we don't really know like what the fuck is what's with these phones, right?
Oh,
We
true,
get
true,
so
absolutely.
it's just a lifestyle, right? And so sometimes it's not a choice. It's just a lifestyle that you kind of you involve yourself in, and then you kind of become dependent on that lifestyle, and now we're suffering the effects of our lifestyle and our disregard of the earthly things on or the way we should do so. So and there's several of those in our environment that decreases our lifespan, right? Whether it's our eating habits, whether it's our sleeping habits, whether for men, like I say, it's even if it's stereotypically the way to do things, they work. Man, gonna have two, three, especially now. It used to go to the factory, even if it was a factory, you're still working to overtime back then. But you needed two, three jobs now as a man. You gotta have certain hustles. Everybody hustling like they're from New York just to make ends meet, and then on top of that, you still need a roommate. So it's different times just to survive. We doing certain things, and it's high stress, high stress at your job, high stress with your family. Just that's high stress with just no sleep. And so men typically are victims of all of that because they feel they need to take care of things for the
Well,
most part.
Chill. Then let me ask this: going
But it's
back,
women nowadays are going to have that same effect though, I believe, because they're working now. It's kind of tables are turning.
but let's go back 100 years or 150 years. Do you think that men and women are living as long as our counterparts 150 years ago, or do you think that we're dying sooner?
I mean, 100 years, not definitely we living longer. That's not even a question. It's not like I mean, in medieval times, what they was living to 35, 40. So it was. I
No,
mean,
I
it's a
mean, no. The
point to
reason,
where.
the reason, the reason why I'm asking, yes, we do have medicine that technically helps you live longer. But
Mhm.
at the same time, we also have things that are killing us.
But that's what that's what I'm saying. So medical advancements counteract that. They counteract the the shit that you know. I mean, people are living longer. When the last time you seen there's a bunch of 100, 600, 7 people year old people in the world. I mean, that was almost unheard of about 30 years ago. So now you got several people just like 101, 102, 107, 100 now. Like it's a lot of people just there. There's it's almost like 10 years lifespans lengthened over just general population, and a lot of people were more health conscious in some angles, and it depends on the person, right? So there's a lot of holistic routes that you can take if you just don't eat shit and eat leaves. You learn that you can live almost forever as long as you don't fall victim to a catastrophic event. So I think when the Bible says you people were living probably 700, 800, 900 years old, it's probably not as far fetched as you think. Well, if you think about all of the deterrents, the pollutants, and the stuff that we deal with on a daily basis, maybe in the beginning of times it was nothing like that. It was all you know, fruit, berries, and twigs, and you probably could live 200 years, 300 years,
Well,
because you probably won't get cancers, no, none of that.
how old would you like to live to?
If as long as I can, as long as I'm actually able to do stuff, as long as whatever, I would live. You know what I mean, I would not want to live probably past the point to where I just can't do shit. I have to allow everybody to do something for me. I mean, it'd be fun to be that guy, that old disgruntled person that's cussing everybody out, but and they still respect you and love you and they take care. But I don't want to be there for too long. I want to be able to watch my own butt. You know what I'm saying? I just that, so whatever age that is, if it's 80, was 100, and yeah.
Okay,
Or if I
all
can
right.
help, if I can contribute, as a person, as an individual, I feel like my contribution to my family and whomever around me is such. Then I'll stick around as much as I can.
Okay. And Alpha Mike says, I want to be immortal so I can see if the world burns. And Frankie, thank you very, very so much for the gift. I personally would like to live at least to be 100. Um, that's that's my goal. Whether or not God allows me to do that, but that I would like to live to at least to be 100. And again, and I talked about this on a different show. I think my sibling show. When my mom passed away, my sister and I, you know, I asked her, and she thought that I was being morbid. But then when I asked some of my other friends who had lost both of their parents, they had said the same thing. It's like I asked my sister which one of us did she think was going to be the last one. So now I ask, as you get older, um, do you want to be that person who outlives your family or outlives your friends? Where you are maybe that person still, sitting under the tree, you know, um, or sitting in the shade. Um, or would you be that person that if you were the last one, um, that you would um you know uh you would make the best of it and you would still continue to live your life.
I don't want to live without you either, Jester. It would.
See, this is some shit. Y'all coming on my show and y'all having this little bromance going. That's just that's just totally effed up. But that's okay, Justin, because see, I know you got a show tonight. So, yeah, mm-hmm.
I don't. I
And
hate
I'm gonna
death.
bring
It's.
all my lovers and everybody on that show. We all gonna just show out all
uh,
on Doomsday tonight.
yeah.
Oh boy, no, go ahead, Bob.
No, I would hate to be the last one. Although I do hate death as well. I think that's mainly. I just hate death. Like even the thought of my. I know you don't like cats, Solid. You're a dog person, but it doesn't matter what animal you have. For me, if I've got an animal, it's a family member, and I dread the day that my cat passes away. Like even thinking about it long enough can make me have a tear in my eye. I'm like, oh, that day I'll be devastated. I'll take days off work. I'll be crying all the time. It's I just hate death in general. So I definitely would not like to be the last one and to see all my loved ones passing away in front of me. Yeah.
So is that more so out of loneliness or more so you just don't want to see
No,
it?
because I don't mind being lonely. I like my own, you know, there's people who need to be around people and need to be in a relationship. I'm not one of those types. I can happily be on my own. It's not that. It's more seeing your loved ones, the people you love, pass away, and you know, even funerals. I could go to a stranger's funeral who I'd never even met, and I could probably shed a tear. I just hate death. I think it's so sad. And I know the obvious question is, well, what would you wish that everyone just lived on forever? And I battle with that concept as well. But no one can get. I mean, for people who can go to funerals and celebrate and laugh and drink and smile, I'm not saying that they're they're cold-hearted, but I just can't be like that. I think it's a sad time.
Well, you know what? Then you have not been to an African American funeral because we have home goings and we celebrate life and we sit around and we talk about the good things and we are laughing and we are joking and I hope that when I die, I don't want people wearing black. I don't want people mourning. Not that anybody would, but come and have fun and wear bright colors and so you haven't been to an African American um, funeral. So we celebrate the living. We celebrate the
Yeah,
person's life, not
I th-
mourn the death.
yeah. I think the Irish do that as well, if I remember rightly. I think they do that as well.
Yeah, so then that gets into the whole culture thing. But it just seems like then, Bob, then you're okay. Then let me ask this because now Bob brought up the whole thing about death. So, Bob, are you afraid to die?
Not as much as I used to be. I think I've said this on this show before that that was my phobia all throughout life. Whenever I found out, I think I found out way too early. I was about 4 or 5 years of age that people die, and it's haunted me. And I used to wake up in cold sweats throughout the night, even all the way up until my late teens, maybe 18, 19, 20. And then when I went on this journey of like philosophy and politics and conspiracies, I think I've gained a lot more pride and a lot, you know, when you look into the rabbit holes of who created us and what the purpose of life is, I think it's given me a lot more hope that there is something else, and I'm less scared of dying.
Okay, all right, chill. Can I ask you the same question? Are you afraid of dying?
Hell yeah, I don't know. I mean, probably the way to die is probably just just that thought. I don't even like thinking about it, but hell yeah. I mean, who's not? Like I'm not scared, but I'm afraid of it. If that makes sense. I mean, I've been done some stupid stuff to where I probably could put myself at risk, but the whole process of it, like, nah, that was. I don't know how it feels though. Technically, so anything with losing your oxygen is always fucking. It fucking freaks me out. But if I'm
So
gonna go to my sleep and die, who cares? If I get shot in the head and back, and I'm just gone, I'm alright. But just like the thought of probably a way, like drowning or suffocating or something like that. That knock on wood is probably worse.
chill. What do you want to do before you get old? What is like one major thing that you want to do?
That's a profound question in my eyes. One, there's several things, but I guess one major thing is just, well, I'll put it in two folds. A goal for my, not even a goal, like just to become, just to master most of myself, master self. You know what I'm saying, to some degree. like reach a height I didn't think I could reach as a, you know, whether it's discipline, whether it's uh, developing. Developing is the word into a person that I would want to be. Um,
Okay. Okay. All right.
you know, so. But I mean, I also to help my daughter. Like I like kids, you know, so having make sure my daughter is a good woman. That would be an awesome thing. Like can't make sure, but like helping that process. You know, helping that process. And my daughter and the people who I love to just helping them along their way, their journey, making them better. Those are things that I would love to see. Not necessarily have to boast or brag about, just being that one person that somebody can come to for, you know, just that one wise man that that person can come to and get legit knowledge.
Okay. Alpha Mike says, I think it's the not knowing that people are afraid of, and referring to death. And Alpha also says, if I'm on my deathbed, just make sure I have enough weed to smoke. I'm going to be happy and high. Okay, so let's go back to the age thing. So your grandmother, grandfather, mother, father, whomever, on their deathbed, and they want to smoke some weed. And Bob, I'm going to ask this of you. Would you give them some weed to smoke? Because I would, if you're on your deathbed and you want to smoke weed, I'm going to give it to you. If you want to drink a bottle of Jack Daniels, whatever, I'm going to give it to you. So,
So it's a bit difficult here in the UK because it's illegal, but I would do it. I would try. I would do everything I could to make that. If that was their dying wish, then who am I to say no? So yeah, I would do all that I could to get them that weed and let them enjoy their last few moments.
would you guys tell any secrets that you were withholding? Not if you're dying, but if the other person was dying, would you tell any secrets before they pass?
Oh, I don't know. That's quite mean.
Well, I'm not saying it has to be
Depends.
anything bad. I'm not saying
Oh,
it
okay.
has to be anything bad, but um, okay, just any type of thing that you just didn't tell them.
Uh, I don't know. I don't know. Ask Chill. Chill's maybe better. That one.
Okay,
Again, that's a subjective question because it depends
okay, all right,
on the secret.
all right. I'm just going to read what Alpha says. My mother was in the hospital dealing with cancer. Lord knows I could not stop her from having me help her outside to smoke her cigarettes. If I, and he also says, if I know someone is about to die, I probably joke with them and say, uh, Luke, I am your father. Welcome, DMAC. So we touched on this a little bit on a previous show. So you're the one dying. Would you tell someone that you know you were really someone's father or someone's mother, or they were adopted, or would you tell any of those deep dark family secrets that you knew?
Sorry, can I jump in there? That's a different one altogether. I think if that sounds like a coward's way out because you're leaving the world with the burden and you're leaving them with the burden that you should have probably voiced when you were alive. Obviously, again, it's subjective, but if it's something like I'm actually the father of this person, or I'm actually this, or whatever, then you're leaving the world, leaving them to deal with all that trauma and that you know heartache
But
or
if
whatever
it's
it's causing.
something okay, but let me read what Juju says. Is when my brother was dying, I told him to tell my aunt that my sister took her house away from me, and Alpha says, "Nope, take my secrets to the grave." So, if it's something like adoption, and you knew that this particular person always wanted to know who their mother or father was, and you knew who they were, and you knew that they have some sisters and other siblings out there, Would you tell them on your deathbed, or would you take it to the grave knowing that these people want to know who they are? And in terms of medical, that's could also be something, so welcome, more more Vera over on YouTube. So what do you guys think about that? I mean you're this old person now, or even if you're 20 and you're dying and you knew something that somebody really wanted to know that was very important to them, would you take it to your grave, Jill?
Yep. Yeah, I mean, you tell me something, I forget it before I tell on somebody. Man, shit, I have no interest in telling nobody secrets. I mean, unless it's just like, it had to be something, that it would be personally my shit that I might tell, you know, and it would be probably for the, you know, the like it'd be for a reason. It wouldn't just be like, hey, you know, like, yeah, I got it. It'd be for a viable reason. Yeah, I got three
I mean,
hundred
but the
million.
reason
I
is
got
that
three hundred
they're
million dollar
adopted.
life insurance. Who adopted who? No, I'm not talking. I'm just talking about in general, not just
Oh,
adopted.
okay.
Adopted. But yeah, I would. It would be something that it'd be a surprise, a good surprise. You got $300 million life insurance policy out on me. So you're gonna be rich than a motherfucker when I leave here. So I would tell somebody that, you know, in general, like with somebody adopting, I don't know about that. I ain't messing up leaving messing up kids' lives, but just secrets in general. It would depend on what type of secret. If they ain't mine to tell, it's going to the grave with me. If it ain't already did, shit. um, what did you ask? You asked something else about a reference to. You said secrets and something else. Oh my gosh. Ah,
I
um,
said I was mainly saying, would you take a secret to the grave? Would you tell them if they really, um, if they really uh, wanted to know? I mean, if I knew someone was adopted and that they really wanted to know, and I was on my deathbed and I knew the secret, and yeah, and I've watched this person agonize for years, or even if I watched them agonize for a week and I was dying, I would I would tell them.
mm. I mean, yeah. I mean, I guess you would tell them, but I wouldn't wait. I wouldn't personally have to tell them because I wouldn't wait till it's my deathbed. Like, I mean, you talking about somebody like that was not a part of your family?
Well, I mean, even if they were a part of the family, and everybody around the family is like, oh, Sally, you better not tell them, don't tell them this, or don't tell her this, because this is going to ruin the whole. You're just going to open up a whole can of worms, and then aunt so and so is going to get upset. Then Uncle Fred's going to do this, and Grandma, Kate's going to get upset, and you've been listening to these people, but then it's like, you're about to die, and it's like, well, you know they can't come back to me and say anything because I'll be gone. But at the same time, that this person really, and I'm not just saying if you're adopted or anything. I'm just saying that is should you take important secrets to the grave if you know that someone really wants to know, and it could benefit them, it could help them because you see them agonizing over something. Do you tell them?
Yeah, I don't. I mean, I wouldn't. I wouldn't because if I haven't told them, then I wouldn't tell them. I wouldn't tell. If I hadn't been told them, I wouldn't tell them. If I'm on my deathbed, ain't no sour secrets that I'm about to just be outing people about. That's not. That wouldn't be. That's not my character. Oh, and yeah, hell yeah. If somebody wanted to get high, let them get high. If they want to do coke, they want to do coke. They want to do whatever. Hell, I don't give a damn how hard the drug is. You can get high than a motherfucker today. This is the day to do it. You can be a whole crackhead up in here if you want to. I don't give a damn because you about to die. I would want to get high than a motherfucker too. That's why we giving bums or drunks change. Like they have a rough life. They want to get drunk. I would want to get drunk if I were living this life too.
All right, Jill. So, did you ever say what you could consider old?
Yeah, when you can't really, you start to lose
When
your
you can't
extreme.
really do anything anymore? Okay.
Yeah, when
All
you,
right.
I, mean, I guess old. I mean, it's I don't think 60 is old. People that act like 60, but I said you shooting for 60, bro. You gonna make it past 60 if you just live a stress free, decent life. You should be able to live past 60, or your ass need to quit welding. It ain't that much job in the world. um, uh, golly. But typically, dudes make at least 75. So I guess, and I got uncles, man. They look still. My uncle look like he, 55. He's 75. So, it just depends. When you're getting up 80, I feel like that's old. When you hit the 70s, that's pretty old. It's getting old. You know, it's 75.
Oh,
You
Lord have
know,
mercy. Lord have mercy. Well, Jester says
70
40
something.
is ancient. Good grief, Jester. 40? Sheesh.
But I mean, it's a blessing to be old, and it's what type of old you are. If you really ain't old, and you look like old girl. What's old girl that's doing a TV show, 911 or whatever the hell,
Oh,
or Tina Hatton or
you
Angela
talking about
Bassett.
you talking about Angela Bassett?
Yeah, her fine ass. She old as hell. She still like
She's
in her
only like
40s,
64, 65.
but she don't look like it though. She look
Of
like
course
she
not.
still her and Sweet Willie can step out tonight. You know, baby, what you need?
Well,
Uh,
Crazy Town says, I'm on level 45. So, again, I personally think that when they say age is nothing but a number, I believe age is nothing but a number, because if you're 99 years old and you're still getting out on the dance floor, or you're still,
bumping and
moving
grinding.
and what have you, then, or if you're still sleeping with grandpa, y'all have a really good sex life, then, you know I don't think that's old. Old to me is as old as you feel. And like I said, you have some 20-year-olds walking around calling themselves old.
Well, I'm gonna tell you
So
something. If I get 99, 100, and I can still do it, I'm getting divorced. If I'm married, I'm getting divorced. That's the way I want to go. I don't want no coke, no weed. You're gonna give me something else.
and Crazy Town says, "Damn right, old is a state of mind." And okay, Jester says Reba would get it. And I'll take her a discount. Oh, and of course he's talking to Ba. You don't know Reba. It's over. And Gris says you're only as old. Wait, you're only as old as the woman you feel. Wait, you're only as old as the woman you feel. Only you're only. Are you saying
Yeah.
you're only as old as the women make you feel? Is that what
No,
he's
no.
saying?
He's meaning he feels the woman. So if the woman's
Oh,
20 and he feels her.
okay. I'm like, okay, all right. Well,
Yeah.
maybe I'm getting a little over that one. Okay, all right, all right. So, okay, so you have a lot of older men who date younger women. And I'm not going into the teen thing. I'm not getting into the pedophilia or anything like that. I'm saying who are over 21. You have older men who are um, over 50, 60, who date or they choose to be with younger women. Um, but when you have older women who want to be with younger men, there's that stereotype. She's a cougar, she should know better. She's going after this young guy. So why is that stereotype there?
No, there's also that stereotype the other way around.
I'm like, I think that's just creepy for most men or women that people get creeped
Yeah.
out by that. But I mean, I definitely be. I don't give a damn what people think. If I'm 55 and a good 20, 5-year-old woman come along and want to sit on my good knee, shit.
your good knee,
Shit.
your good knee. Okay,
Shit.
I'm gonna leave that one alone. Your good knee. Welcome, trying cat and crazy says, I date younger men. My current is 14 years younger. Okay, all right. And Jester says you have to trade in about every 10 years for a newer model with less problems. Damn, Jester. I mean, you just giving me a lot of ammunition for your show tonight. Dang. Oh, and Crazy says now they come after me.
And then you got money, right? So you got many men don't care that men. As long as we got money, we don't care like what your age is. We just want you to be able to look cute and smile and not be a headache. And so if you can do that, you don't even, at that point you don't care if she cheating on you. You just say, "Dylan, you got your heads about 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock. You in the house, we good." Shit.
So, how much as you get older, and I know people in this chat are different ages. As you get older, how much emphasis do you put on how the person looks as opposed to their mind and their intellect?
Yeah.
Uh,
Go ahead, Bob.
I would say that those things get lesser. Well, sorry, the looks thing gets lesser as you get older. Um, I definitely see the value in having someone that is uh, their personality is more aligned to yours, and maybe they're. I'm maybe speaking a bit more because my beliefs. I really feel sorry for people dating in today's age because with how divided we are with the to get someone that agrees with your mindset and ideology would be pretty difficult. So I think the whole looks thing becomes less important as you get older in favor of someone that is like-minded.
But you can still be different and disagree with someone and still be attracted to them and still make it work.
Yeah, I think obviously both are important, but it's what one takes more importance because I always use the saying like women will always go, "Oh, Brad Pitt and all these men," and women and men are like, "Oh, Jennifer Lopez," not, but Jennifer Lopez is probably driving some man insane right now, and Brad Pitt's probably pissing some woman off right now. It's all about building that foundation of trust and of the same core values. Like, for example, the first thing that comes to my mind is like if you want to have kids or not. Like those are foundational core values that should favor that they should be the main importance over looks. As you get older, definitely.
But okay, let me read what Crazy says. She says, it does. I think you can be attracted to character, and sometimes that can stroke your mind and not your, well, And I drive them insane still, not always in a good way. So, okay, but let's say that you're this man, this older man, um, who is divorced, or maybe your wife passed, um, and you're looking for someone. You're going to be attracted to looks first.
Yeah, this is actually a relevant conversation because I have a friend who has just got out of a 10-year relationship and he's now in the dating scene and he's downloaded all these dating apps. He won't mind me sharing this, and I won't say his name, but and I've been there as well, where at a certain time in a man's life or woman's life, they have different. They're looking for different things. So, you know, there's a time where my friend or I was looking just for some fun, looking for a friend with benefits or some girl to meet up with and hook up with, and just say goodbye to because life at that particular moment in time didn't call for a relationship. And I don't think there's anything wrong in that if the intention is set out to start with. So, like you just said, like with a man who maybe got divorced or his wife or husband passes away, that is up to them. Like if they just want a dolly bird to have by their side and meet up with for coffee now and again and sleep with them now and again, that's their up to them. So I think if it's a relationship that is for the long haul, what I was going to say is to actually sit down with someone and be able to have a conversation and a real in-depth conversation is something that's being lost. I think um, that's why I say that people should value conversation skills and core values over looks, because it's okay to look at someone and have those flutters like me and Jester have that kind of thing. But
Can y'all please
but
keep y'all sex life all off of my show, please? Damn.
but you need to have more than that if you're going to stand the test of time. There we go.
Okay. All right. And Lurak says, I got super lucky to get divorced and meet someone uh, so much better for me. And Crazy Town is agreeing with you, Ba. So, Jill, you wanted to pop in on that?
Well, man, it depends on what point you are in your life. If you just got out of a relationship with somebody that know every damn thing, you got to argue all the damn time. Don't nobody want to know it all, or just somebody that with even an opinion. I just want to be able to laugh and have fun with you. Why just golly, So it depends. Um, I'd love intellectual conversation, but I can get that from a friend. If your ugly ass sitting right by me talking about some Socrates or something, you got to go. I'm not. You listen here. You, I'm. We can talk about intellectual shit some other time. But at night when I gotta lay down with your ugly ass, then that may be a problem. Cause
So,
you gonna want to have sex, and I'm gonna be like, I'll pass. Not tonight. I gotta be, in the mood and shit. Like when you gotta get in the mood to have sex with somebody, that's probably when you know they're ugly as hell to you. Like I gotta get in the mood. So yeah, no. Yeah,
good Lord.
that
Only
matters.
only Crazy, if you want to call in, please call in. Crazy Lady says my dad met his last wife on a dating app. He married her 2 weeks after they met. Married for 9 years till he died. All right, and Crazy Town is here. I so enjoyed you the last time you came up on the panel. Not that I don't enjoy Ba and Chill, but Crazy,
Mm.
welcome, welcome.
Is it low?
It is low. You are low.
What I'm saying, what I was trying to say is there got to be a mix. You just can't be smart as hell and then think we just gonna be laying down
No, but
and
it sounds like that you just mainly want the boom boom.
nah, it ain't hell no. I can't deal with no dummy neither. But I'm telling you, like it's not that I want. It's just that you want some synchronization. If you're gonna have healthy debate, or the one thing, if you caring, you loving and all that, and you just stupid, just be stupid. I hate when stupid they try to be smart and they want to argue and shit. Let me be the smart one out of this group, and you do whatever
Mm.
you do well,
Oh Lord, have
and
mercy,
and and
Chill.
don't
All
and
right.
don't and
Can you
don't
hear
fuck with
me
me.
now?
Yes, I yes I can hear
But
you.
if I so basically, I'm the same way. If I'm the stupid one, I'm gonna defer to you. I'm gonna let you. Or if I'm the unorganized one, and I'm somewhere, or you're the loving one, the nurturing one, or whatever you want to call it. If you want to get up and do shit before 8 a.m. and I'm gonna let you do you. Just don't fuck with me. It
Okay
got to be
then.
able to go.
All
Got to be able
right,
to be in sync.
all
That's
right,
the thing. Be in sync. That I guess what I'm looking for.
okay. Crazy, welcome, welcome.
Howdy. Thanks for having me. Yeah, I had a few minutes, and I mean, this is an interesting conversation that I actually just had with somebody else too. Because I was watching that show Love is Blind, or Is Love Blind, or something like that. And if you haven't watched it, it's just one of those silly reality shows, but really honestly watch it. And that gives you a whole new perspective on exactly what you're talking about right now. Because, um, and you'll see there's so much drama that's behind it. It's so funny, like the whole show and how it went down. But just my opinion, like I agree with, you said that's Spa, right? The one that says friendly now.
Yes, Bob.
Um, So I agree with him, and I also agree with Chill on a certain level. Not exactly how he explained it, but like also, but look, that's Chill. That's his. That's what he. That's not the. That's so when you're asking people that question, me and variables.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
so like
Yes, yes.
that's Chill's. That's his preference, right? And that's totally fine because he's saying that being attracted to somebody is part of one of his preferences. Okay. I mean, and for me personally, like the reason I agree with Bob is because um you can have it both ways. I promise you, if Chill ever got into a situation or somebody with the same kind of mindset got into a situation where they couldn't see the person, but you connected with them on a different level, it might be different. It may or may not. There was actually a guy on that show that was like that. Like he was really about looks. He was smart. He liked the conversation, but he wanted the woman to be a woman when it was time to be a woman, and like he wanted to be attracted to her and stuff like that. And then he tried to make it work out because he was like, I'm attracted to her mind, but not her body. But that's everybody's personal preference. As you get older, the preferences just change sometimes. Not always, but sometimes. Like me personally, I get turned on by somebody's conversation more than I do anything else. Like, because you already know my brain's like a mess. So, like, I have tons of these conversations. That's what I look for. I'm not saying I don't have, I don't need to be attracted. That's not true. I mean, if I'm just not attracted or there's something about that person that's something that's a deal breaker for me, that's different. But again, that's my preference. So, like, I'm sorry, what were you going to say?
Well,
I
no,
heard you about the tea up.
no, I was just going to ask, do you think that on average, as you get older, and and again, I'm saying, okay, you said you're
Mhm,
45.
mhm.
People who are pushing 50 or even older, do you think that when they are looking for that mate, that it is more intellectual, or is it more looks, or is it more sexual? I mean,
Okay, so let's talk about the variables here. I'm going to tell
okay,
you two different
okay,
situations.
I forgot. We got to go to these variables. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Two different situations examples, right? I mean, honest to God, me, I'll just speak for myself, okay? Just totally for myself. If I go to a bar, right? And now I may not be actively looking for a mate, but I'm open to it. If I go to a bar, I'm probably going to eye up a person first. Why? Because they're right there. I have the opportunity to eye them up and down, which also, if I don't let them speak because I've eyed them and I think to myself, maybe, oh, well, not really my type. First of all, I don't think anybody really knows your type until you meet your type. But, anyways, maybe I think that that person's not my type, but I didn't let him sit down and get a chance to. So you're looking at, did you see the person first? Because yes, you're going to physically look at that person and that's what you're going to hyper focus on. I don't care unless you let them sit down and talk to you. If that first impression was you going, well, I'm attracted to attractive people, you're not attractive, so it doesn't matter what you do, you're automatically out of the picture. But like if you, I don't know, not a dating site either because dating sites have pictures, people looking for pictures, um, stuff like that. If you meet somebody on an intellectual level without seeing them, but like, you enjoy their voice brings you peace, they're smart, they can have conversations with you and stuff. That's the difference. Like, I'll be honest, I could look at somebody and be attracted and want to them to be my mate, right? But I can also talk to somebody and think the same thing, and in that case, their looks or however it is may not matter, because that's not the first thing you thought about was the looks, unless you were just always hyper focused on that. Anyways, like, well, you got to be attractive, right? I'm not going to talk to you either. You know what I mean? Like, so,
But you do have people that are like that. If they,
oh yeah,
if
absolutely.
yeah, so
But
so
they also, as they get older, that means are they going to change as they get older? Is that going to actually be worse as they get older because they're going to try to compensate for them maybe not looking the same. So they're going to get a person that looks better than them so that they can feel like, well, I don't look that great, but look what I got. You know what I mean? Like they're
Mhm, mhm.
stroking their ego with looks too. So if they don't care about that conversation and you don't need somebody that's smart or independent or whatever it is, fine. You want just a trophy? Get a trophy. But is that going to last throughout the years? Probably not. And honestly, I don't think that when you're saying if people, to answer the question beyond all my variables, I don't think that people's preference, personal preference changes. I think the way they look at it changes.
Okay, so let me ask the same question I asked by and chill. What do you consider old?
Well, like I said, for me, old is a state of mind. I consider, I mean, God,
If you were
I,
to give a number, if you were to give a number, do you think 60s old, 70,
okay.
80, 90?
So when I was 16, 21 was old. When I was 21, 35 was old. When I was,
Okay.
you see, so
Yeah.
now that
Okay.
I'm 45, right, I would say if I'm being realistic, old is something that where you can no longer function by yourself as an
Okay.
independent person.
Okay. Okay.
So
So what would you want
that age
to
range is kind of weird.
okay, so what would you want to accomplish before you quote unquote get old?
I just want to make sure that my son's good always. That I take care of my business. My business being, I know it's coming up. Got to have the will and all your stuff in line so that you don't leave any of the crap that you had in life passed down to people that already have enough crap. You know what I mean? So my goal would be just to make sure that my business is handled so that nobody else has to handle my business.
Okay. Lurak says, I like females with good moral foundations. Bible perspective does attract me personally. And he also says 70s and up is old. And Juju says, yes, that's how I look at being old. I'm a little confused
Probably what
there.
I said.
Oh, okay.
Probably what I
From
say.
what you
Yeah.
said. Okay. All right. Got it. Got it. Got it. Got it. Well, I still think that age is nothing but a number, and even if your body starts to break down, and you're no longer able to take care of yourself. If you're still mentally feeling young, then
Sure.
I see, more power to you. Just because you may be in that wheelchair, or you
You
may
don't
not be
have
able
to
to
get
run
old.
here,
You don't
right?
have to.
Yeah, so it's like if you choose to see yourself that way, then that is what you are going to be. And Chester 40 is not ancient, but
I'll give you an example of myself if we're talking about like age and the state of mind, right? Um, just for myself, like I am 45, but I've had health problems my whole life. I have a couple of autoimmune diseases. I have heart trouble, stuff like that, right? So I've battled back and forth. And about 6 years ago, maybe I want to say about 2016 when my dad died, I kind of gave up on life. And I went down a really dark path. And if I'm being honest, I got really old real quick. I stopped doing things. I stopped going anywhere. I was all, like that's how I made myself feel really old. And up until about a year and a half ago or year ago or so, when I finally came out of that funk, now, I'm moving around. And I mean, when I say that it's a state of mind, that's the truth. Because while I was going through that stuff mentally, my body, I got real sick. I got real sick and my body couldn't recover. So that's why I say it's a state of mind. Because if your mind is old, if you have given up on life, if you're not taking care of yourself properly, like I was in so much pain. And I'm going to tell you the only thing that's changed from then till now is my state of mind. Yet all of that pain and all of the whatever is gone, like from my body feeling old and stuff like that. Now, mind you, yes, I probably could have taken a little better for, like eating habits and stuff, but it was all based on the state of my mental health, which made my body really old. And since then, since I've come out of that, now my body is actually reciprocating that state of mind.
Oh,
You
okay.
you can get old by doing that. Like you can, because I mean, I'll be honest with you. What's the definition of old? That's what we're trying to figure out, right? Because there's no real definition.
I mean, right, because this is what I'm saying. If you I believe it when doctors say, you know, they'll get better, but they have to want to get better, or they
That's
have to
right.
want to do something. And if you're mentally not there, then you won't be able to do this, or you won't be able to
Yeah,
do that. So
because of
I,
your mind state. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I just want to read what Trine Cat says. I think old is a matter of perspective. I know a gentleman who's 85 years old. He gets and he is more active and gets more tail than I've ever seen anybody get. I do want to go to Ba and Chill. Do you guys want to reply or push back or anything on what Crazy said?
No, I agree with everything she said. That was no, it was good.
Okay, Jill.
Yeah, yeah. For the most part, I mean, she said the same thing, a lot of same stuff I said, but I just really
Mm.
think in reference to the actual, because I love intellectuals, I love them. Like I learned,
Oh,
like I
thank you,
only
Jill.
text you,
Thank you so much.
but I've learned that, and one thing you're super right about is that a person that you attracted to mentally, you can if she ain't got the best, best ass, or prettiest face, you don't even care. Like you don't care. Like it ain't, who
Hmm.
cares? Like I'm not perfect. They ain't perfect. We're not. But I'm just talking about whether that attraction has to be there. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? What I'm saying, like
True.
it has to be. You can't be so ugly that I just like it's a chore to have sex. Cause it's just that's all I'm saying. So,
Look,
cause I've,
I'll
I've
have
dated
to
people that were the
agree. I have to
most
agree a
prettiest
little bit
person.
on that. A little bit because everybody has their preference, right? I have a preference. I mean, that's what you set your standards to, right? That's what you want to be. If
Okay, let's
that's a
put it this
person, you know
way.
what I mean? I
Let's
agree.
put it this way. If a man just got like an inch down there and he's a beautiful man and he's smart and he ain't got nothing down there, you might have a problem with that. I'm saying for women, let's put it in perspective. You know what I'm saying? If he just see, man, look.
But okay, but do those people who are not that attractive, or don't have much down there, or don't have
I'm
much
just saying
up
for
up
women,
there?
it might
No,
be
no,
more
no. But
preferential
then
to a
again,
woman.
you also have some men who, some women, they are flat the most of their
No, I don't
lives,
see. I don't like, for me.
and no, wait, wait,
That's
hold
not the
on, hold on.
same for
But
men though.
I'm just saying though, do those people get left out because they're not that attractive, or they don't have that much down there? But on the intellectual side, they have it going on. So are those people being left out because they don't have everything else,
Can
or
I
the
answer
other
that?
qualifications? Go ahead.
Can I answer that? Okay, so I want to answer it while I have this fresh in my head. Okay, and this is where I come into. I'm gonna always go to logistics, right? For an answer, if you're looking for a tangible answer. But let's be real. Two things. I have always said size matters, and I'm still going to say that, and I don't care who what says to whatever, right? But that is my personal preference. When you say, are those people being left out? No. Why? Because what they haven't done is found the person for them. Not everybody is for every. I don't care how smart you are. I don't care how attractive you are. I don't care what you got going on. If you're with the wrong person, that is going to be the wrong person for you. And they are not going to like you as a whole. You know what I mean?
So
And
okay,
I've
so if you
experienced that.
so if you meet this guy and you all hit it off, you've gone out on several dates, um, the bed thing has not come up, whatever.
Hmm.
Um, and you all have been spending time together. You all, talk on the phone. You all go out. You all like the same food. I mean, you all just have fun, and you all click, and both of you
Hmm.
really like each other. But now the bedroom comes, and then he takes off his pants, and you're like, oh, okay.
I want to tell
So
you right now, I
I
would have
mean,
already asked, so I would have never got there.
Wait, so okay, so you would have already said to him how big are you?
I would have either had some kind of conversation like that, or like yeah, I don't, because honestly, why go on so many dates if that is something that you like? I mean, seriously, okay, I'm not, listen,
See,
I'm
I
not a
knew it was
small
something,
girl.
damn it. I knew it.
I
She
I
sounded good. So this, we got your ass now.
uh, look, no, because I can play both sides because I've been on both sides. What I'm saying is I'm not a small girl, okay? I can't be, there's certain needs that need to be met, and I'll be honest, I've dated men before that I've told them, look, I mean, they'll be like, well, give me a shot, okay, but I'm a real truth teller, okay, and I have no problem telling you what's good. So please, like, don't be like super soft, because if you're saying give me a chance or whatever, and I say, well, no,
But what if he were able to please you other ways?
okay, and that's the give me the chance thing, right?
Right.
So
So if he's able to
no,
please you other ways, then
there's alternatives. There is alternatives to that, right? Let's say I didn't explore that and I just got attracted to somebody mentally, right? And then all of a sudden that happened. There's alternatives, but am I willing, like, I guess that would mean, am I willing to go through that? If it's just somebody on a few dates, no, probably not.
no, I
But
know that's
like,
why I said it's someone that you really liked. You all really liked each other.
it's
So
so tough because I'm not necessarily a looks person. Like, I don't have a type. I say that all the time because I have dated. It's been a very diverse, I don't know, pool of people that I've dated. It was never about necessarily their looks. However, they were attractive to me, all of them. You know what I mean? Oh well, I did. It did happen one time where I got attached to somebody that I had not seen at all, and that relationship ended very, very, very badly. So,
okay, so I'm gonna throw this out to everybody, people in chat, Bob, Jill, and Crazy. I know you're gonna say something. So for this one, let's say you have those people who have an arranged marriage. Okay,
no.
for their culture, I'm just saying for their culture, whatever it is an arranged marriage, and then girlfriend gets in, that night, the marriage bed, and again she's like, oh, or he can be like, oh, whatever. Are you stuck with this person then? So that means you have to find a way to make it work, right? Somebody?
I'll go since they're muted. Well, so arranged marriages, one, I don't like that, but that's culture. That's, if that's what your
Mm-hmm.
culture is and that's what you agree to, that's what you agree to. The thing is like, I've seen a lot of people that I know, like, listen to people on podcasts and stuff that have arranged marriages, and some of them work out very, very well for one good reason or another. Either they were compatible, right? Totally compatible, found that everything was cool, great. You're what I was looking for. Even if they did put us together, we're good, right? Or they found a way to make it work. Now, whether that means going outside the marriage or like, but if there was an open communication, like, I've seen a couple of couples that were like, well, we just tell each other everything. They love each other, right? They love each other in a certain sense, but they also know they don't love each other in that sense, but they're able to just do it for their culture, which I think is tough, because then you're kind of missing out. You're probably always feeling that there's something missing, but I mean, I think that that's terrible, because if you put someone together who's not meant for them, I mean, that's a miserable life unless you can learn to love
So
someone like that.
so let me ask this. If you are in a marriage, and again I'm looking at the age thing because I think this may happen, well, maybe not. Maybe not. Would you ever, if your husband or wife or your significant other ever got to the point where they were not sexually happy with you anymore, no matter what you did, no matter what both of you all did, that attraction just isn't there anymore. Would you want to divorce this person or break up with this person, or would you come to an agreement that they can see someone else outside of the marriage to fulfill that need? And I already know what Ba is going to say, so I'm going to go to Ba first. So Ba.
No, because marriage should be sacred, and I could maybe address the last question a little bit to kind of push my point. Is I'm definitely against arranged marriage because I'm all about freedom. But if you take marriage in general in the way it used to be, where they used to push, the virginity thing, like on your wedding night should be the first time there's a reason for that. And I know, like, if we're talking about size matters and seeing your partner naked and all that, there's ways to do that without having sex. But the reason that that was kind of pushed on society was because it works. Like, people stayed together. I think Crazy Lady made a comment in the chat that her dad found his wife on a dating app and married for 9 years. And I don't know anything about that other than when people do get married, there's a bond there. They take their, usually people, if they're going to get married, they take their oath seriously, and it's a bond. And when they argue, as we all do, it's not something that, unless you're married, sorry, you're more likely to stick around and fight through the arguments and resolve them. Whereas if you're just boyfriend, girlfriend, or partners, there's always someone at the end of a phone or a dating app that's bigger and better. And that's what we're seeing a lot of in today's society, is people aren't willing to fight through the arguments and sort their differences out. And there's always someone there waiting in the wings,
But I'm
in
not
their
talking about.
DMs.
I'm not saying that you all get along fine. Any other way you all get along fine. But for whatever reason, either she doesn't satisfy you anymore, or you don't satisfy her physically.
Yeah,
And
but you
it,
can
and
work
it's
through that.
but what if you can't?
Well, then you both have to be amicable and part ways. If
Okay,
it's driving a
all
big
right.
enough wedge between your marriage and you're not getting on, there's no other option than to, if you fixed it, if you've tried to fix it, sorry, and it's not working, then yeah, that's it. But yeah,
So, with a girl being a virgin back in the day, where, don't you think that men should also be
yeah,
virgins also?
I never said that.
Okay. No, no, no. I'm just asking.
Yeah, both
I'm just
parties.
asking.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Chill.
Yeah, I'm here, and I'm sorry. Hold on. All right, I'm back. I thought I was up. So yeah, that just threw me off. So I had a whole lot to say, but I just got thrown off. But yeah, Boss said something that I wanted to respond to, and I can't remember. So initially, uh, Crazy Town. Well, she can go because I'm still a little bit off right now.
Okay, crazy.
I actually agree with. Well, what question were you asking me about? You think if they should part ways
Well, I mean,
or have an
should
open marriage?
should they part
Okay,
ways or have an open marriage, or I mean, but they get
so
along every other way. They still love each other, but on a physical side, one person or maybe even both of them are just not being satisfied. But they still love each other. They still get along for everything else financially. Everything else is fine except that physical part.
okay, but I'll be honest. I don't think if you can't match all aspects, like if they can't all be good, I don't think you can. I think I agree with Bob. It's really tough, man. This is a tough one to answer because this, what I think is every couple should have the communication, right? And if you have the open communication, you decide as a couple what's right for you. And if you can't come to an agreement to where everybody's happy, because everybody does have to be happy at some level. I'm not saying there's not pain and growth stuff like that, but overall, both parties have to be agreeable. Like that's like basically having a roommate and then you're going to go and be with other people or having a roommate the rest of your life. I don't want that personally. Like if me and you aren't compatible anymore for whatever reason, it doesn't matter whether it's because it doesn't necessarily have to be intellectually, it could be other things. And you've put forth the effort, but you still can leave amicably, then you should part amicably. You shouldn't get to the point where it's so bad that you're leaving and now everything's destroyed. You should, if you part ways with somebody, if you guys are such great friends, stay great friends. So you don't satisfy each other physically anymore. So what? You know what I mean?
Okay, but as you get older, and I keep doing the age thing because I'm trying to tie this in. As you get older and as you've been married longer, you have people, they've been married 30, 40 years, whatever. One person may not feel like, you know, doing it anymore, while one person does.
Then
One
they need to
person,
talk about that.
but one person may only want it, once a week, and you want it, once a month. And then let me ask this. So what if your partner, as they get older, they have some medical issue. It could even be someone younger, and they have some medical issue. Um, and I know this is the whole thing of my whole show has totally changed, whatever, but it always does. But they have some medical issue and they are not able, say they're in a wheelchair or something. They are bedridden and they're constantly bedridden. Um, and they gave you their blessing to go out and get satisfaction elsewhere. Do you think that's wrong? Or do you think that you would have to almost wait until this person died, which could
If
be like
you're
10 years?
married, it's wrong.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I'm asking the
I,
question. Okay.
I,
All
I
right.
was just going to jump in there to kind of drive that thought home, and it's something that you can. I was actually thinking about the corporal punishment argument, and this one actually drives this point home. Is if you're married, you've taken an oath, which is till
That's right.
death do us part, and that is the point. And I know this is going to come across really, really strong and really bad, but if you get married, you should be with that person for the rest of your days. And I know there's obstacles that can come up, which like we've already discussed about, like the satisfying each other in the bedroom or anything like that. But you've taken that oath, you need to honor it. And that whole demonizing people back in the day for committing adultery or having a child out of wedlock, I know that gets demonized now, but I think it's a real shame that that has disappeared. People don't have the responsibility anymore. There's no, it's just, ugh, I'm fed up with this person, let's just jump from relationship to relationship. And that's the part that we've been so accustomed to, that there's these dating apps and there's always someone in your DMs that you can rely on to, whenever your partner's made you feel shitty, or you're not getting the same attention or something, you're arguing all the time, there's always someone there. And that's the world we live in now. So I have to be quite strong on, I know you're being hypothetical, Solid, and it's a good conversation, but any of these obstacles that come up, if you've got married, that is an oath that you should honor no matter what. And if you don't, I think you failed. And I'm not afraid to say those words. I think you have failed, and it is wrong. So
Okay.
it's, yeah.
No, I mean, and actually, I actually happen to know a couple of people who are in situations where one particular person, their husband is going through and has been going through some things for probably about 15 years. And one of the things that she talks about is her frustration, um, not just mentally, and just being stressed out and on the sexual side. So I do believe that there are couples out there that are going through these hypotheticals i'm I'm that I'm talking about. So yeah, when you say I do, yeah, it should be for the long run. So
I just want to add
Well,
on to that a little bit because I mean, I
uh,
agree with the
Well,
marriage thing. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'm gonna just say something real quick. Um, just in reference to not only what Boss said, and I don't necessarily think it's harsh, but I do think it's unrealistic. Like if somebody, if somebody makes a well, not even a mistake. You're two different people. Me at 22 and me at 42 may be two different people. Two people that don't mean they don't love each other. That don't mean they don't want to see each other do well, but they definitely may have outgrown each other. And just to stay in there just because of some type of fucking oath that you took, you don't have to necessarily break an oath to them. Like if y'all go your separate ways, there's nothing wrong with doing that. I don't think. I mean, it's just especially if they die. Like you think somebody wants you. I don't think my part. I wouldn't want you to not ever fuck anybody. If I die, and
Well,
my
it's
wife
death do
doesn't.
you part. So yeah, and
Right,
once
right.
you're
It's death
dead,
do you
you're
part. So
free.
once you're dead, right? So it doesn't
Well, even
matter.
regardless of whatever, I'm just saying. Like I would want that person to be happy. Period. Like I want the person to be happy. One of the most selfish shits in the world that I feel like is that just not wanting you to have anybody else.
Wait. Are you
That's
saying that when you're still married, or when
I don't
you're
care
not
what it
married?
is. Like
Okay, so
if you're unhappy, if like so for instance, of course you don't want nobody to cheat on you, whatever. That's fine. But if you like you in the situation you said, if a person can't have sex or they can't do, they say go ahead, go outside the marriage and do it. That's their marriage. You can't tell them how to
that
do their
wouldn't bother
marriage.
you. That wouldn't, like, when you know
Hell
that
no.
she's
You know,
gone, you wouldn't be thinking in the
listen,
back of your head like
listen.
that.
I'm getting around to it. I'm getting around to it. Listen, if you fucking somebody else, you probably done fuck before me. You fuck somebody else.
Oh, good lord.
Yeah, I'm not. Listen, that's a weak trait for me. That's just weak for me. I can't. That's not that. What is that? A jealousy or insecurity? I don't know what that is. I'm not doing that. I want you to be happy. I want them to be happy. And if that makes you happy, that's love to me. I want you to be happy. I don't want to. It might make me feel insecure because we talk that way, but that's not really the natural. For me, I want you to be happy, and what it induces for me, like say something's yours, right? And somebody takes it from you, and you're like, oh, I want that back. It's mine, mine. But this is a person we're talking about. It's not an object. It's not a thing. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, if our agreement is that I'm okay with that, ain't nobody else supposed to be telling me what the hell are we supposed to be doing over here. So that's what I'm saying. Now, if our agreement is that we gonna want to handle that, that's fine. But either then, like that even traits like I hate when I always tell my daughter if a man ever talk to you and he lead with where your man at, or he lead with what somebody else can't do for you, or when that's some weak ass shit. Run the other way. So I just want you to a person wants you to be happy. Like just regardless of whatever it is. Whether I'm dead, whether I'm gone, I want you to be happy. I don't want you to have to live a life of oh fuck, I can't fuck nobody else. I can't do anything. I want you to be miserable because I'm miserable. What type of shit is that?
Crazy.
Um, so I'm just gonna go back to what I was gonna say because that'll pretty much cover all of that. Because you kind of Chill kind of went down a different road than what actually was. Because look, once obviously when you do that oath, when death do you part, if that person is dead and gone, that means you are released from that oath that you took. Period. So nothing after that should matter. And but what I my original thing was what I was gonna say is I have chosen never to be married primarily because I know that situations can change. Just like he said, I'm not the same person I was in my 20s. People can outgrow each other. And you know what? With open communication and everything, that stuff can work properly. I also believe that no, you shouldn't want somebody to be miserable because you are. Because if they don't want to be with you, and just because you want to be with them, that's selfish. And you should let them, you should part ways. I mean,
But I'm
because
not, no, I'm
how,
not saying that they don't want to be with you.
oh,
I'm
yeah, no,
saying that on that you are sick or something, and on a sexual
yeah,
side.
I was getting to
Yeah,
that. I'm getting
okay.
to that.
Okay. Sorry.
So if because it is selfish to want to hold on to something that you shouldn't hold on to, right? So I agree with that. I'm just saying that what Chill said, I agree with that part of it. As far as someone getting sick or something, right? We're gonna go back to communication. You're talking to that person. Fine. If you guys came to an agreement, right? That's how that person could live with that, but make real damn sure that they mean that and they're not just doing that for you, because they will still be miserable. They just aren't going to tell you, which is going to be detrimental in the end. I personally believe that if you feel you need to go outside of of that marriage, right? You got married. If you need to go outside of that and you feel you need to go outside for any reason, sickness, you're not attracted to anything, divorce them, let it go. Let it not be a relationship anymore. Because, like, I know people that have open marriages, right? But that's their choice. I don't understand why they got married, because I wouldn't if I wanted that kind of lifestyle, to be honest with you, because I do believe that marriage is a sanctity. That's something that you should think about. That's why I would never get married myself, because I'm just too flighty. So I don't want to have to divorce and do all that stuff and separate from everything else. I don't want to have to go through all that bullshit. And I don't believe a piece of paper is going to keep you together anyways. If someone doesn't want to be there, they're not going to be there. So it doesn't matter.
But but real quick, I'm gonna ask you something. If marriage is its sanctity, the fact that you should be married to have sex to do all that would be as
I
well.
don't believe that.
What I'm saying is what I'm saying is that would kind of be inconsistent of the whole thing. Is what I'm saying, right? You wouldn't think
No,
no? You
because
don't think
the
so?
sanctity, no, because the sanctity of marriage is that you're true to the person you're with. It has nothing to do with the
Right.
past.
So if you
Do you
decide to have an
understand?
open
So that's
marriage, right?
my.
So if you had to decide to have an open marriage, that doesn't break that. That's the honesty, the integrity is still in that.
That depend. I guess that depends. That like I said, people do that. I don't judge them. Shit. What people do with their lives is none of my business. But like my thing is don't even get married though if you want to do that, because there is a set. It's it's more sanctity to a person that it gives it that sanctity. Do you understand? Like Boz beliefs or whatever are very strong. So that would be something he would be. But maybe these people, when they got married, they literally just wanted to say they were married. Maybe that's all they wanted to do. Right? We could still go do whatever we want, just wanted to say we're married, and that's fine. That's their sanctity. But I don't believe in the whole before marriage and after and the bodies and all that. Yeah, like that's whatever, because I just believe that marriage is true to the person you're with. And if that's y'all's truth, then so be it.
Ba?
No, I agree. There's nothing to add because I think we've all done a good job of covering the topic. Yeah. No, it's been good hearing Crazy Town. It's the first time I've heard you on a podcast, so I've enjoyed listening to you.
Oh, you too. I mean, I listen to you guys all the time. You guys have, I've always wanted to join in on stuff, but I can't. I'm at work usually. So,
Okay.
but yeah, no, I appreciate it. I love the conversation, and I don't care. I'll agree to disagree with anybody because it's everybody's, it's your business. It's you. You do what you want.
Yeah.
Well, crazy. I will say that um, I'm speaking for myself on the one half of friendly differences that I would love for you to come on to the show, because I'm pretty sure there's a lot of stuff, a lot of topics that we can talk about.
Oh,
Friendly.
absolutely.
So send us an email, please. Friendlydifferences at Gmail.
But did
So
you
we can
tell her
have.
about the $5 that she got to mail me before she do that? My cash app.
Chill. You and your $5, okay? You and your $5 that you ain't going to get. Not you're not going to get. You ain't going to
Damn, my brother
get.
can't
So
get $5 out of this. What type of friends is I got here?
yep. Well, we'll put it like this, and you're not going to get anything from Jester, because Jester going to give his $5 to Bob first, and vice versa.
I ain't got
And you
nothing.
can
Don't
take
put
that
me
home.
in that. I ain't got nothing to do with that, Bob. I ain't got nothing to do with that, brother.
Oh boy. Well, this has definitely been, like I said, we started with one thing, and my show always goes to something else, but we were still talking about age and everything. So I'm just going to start with I'm gonna start with crazy first. And do you want to have any last words of wisdom or whatever?
My honestly, just you're supposed to live your life to the fullest, not everybody else's life to the fullest, right? and don't be selfish. And make sure that you don't judge anybody else, because nobody in this world should be able to judge or look down on, or think the only person you compete with is yourself. Try to be a better person than you were yesterday. And that's how I look at stuff.
Okay. Chill.
But that's awesome. Like I'm a firm believer in running your own race, having the wherewithal to stand on your own 2 feet. When you looking crazy in a room full of people who telling you to do the wrong thing, you in your heart know what's right or wrong, and just run your own race. Be your good. I mean, if you're trying to be a good person, typically it work out. And as far as all the marriage and stuff, that was all interesting. It was a great topic, great conversation. Good to see all your faces, smiles, and then all of that. And we'll see you on the other side, the
Okay.
upper room.
Bye.
No, another great show, and I think I just want to make myself clear on this. I know I say this all the time, but I'm really not good at subjective subjects. When you do shows solid, and they're subjective, I struggle, as you can probably all tell. But I think it's because when there's not a right or wrong answer, like we've seen tonight, there's no right or wrong. It's up to each individual and their preference. And who am I to say, you can't do this and can't do that? That's not what I'm saying. But I do genuinely believe that there is a better way, there is an ideal way. And I do defend maybe traditional values like marriage and, the promoting like saving yourself for your wedding night and all that kind of stuff, because it did work. And I think what we're seeing a lot of, not just with that, but a lot of things, is this abandoning of those values. And I don't think it's a better way of life. So I might come across as strong with some of my views, but I genuinely want the best for everyone. And if, you want to go and do what you want to do, that doesn't affect me. So clearly it's not something that I'm hating on you for or anything like that. But because we're in the spirit of the conversation, I'll voice my opinion. So thank you for allowing me to do so. And yeah.
Damn, Bye. I'm trying to end the show, and then you just had to go say something that I have to comment on.
Okay. Okay.
Because you said the same yourself for marriage, because it did work. And when you said that, what popped in my mind was, did it really work?
Yeah,
I
well,
mean,
yeah,
well, hold
well,
on.
the
What
proof's in
I'm
the
talking
pudding.
about in terms of, couples may have stayed married for 40 years and 50, 60 years and stuff, but were they happy? So
Yeah, but there's a whole lot.
it may have fundamentally worked on the outside. Yeah, the family unit stayed together, and this and this and this, but were they really happy? So
Yeah, but
that's all.
there's a whole lot of things that is affected by a divorce, and like even the children being affected. There's a lot of
No,
things as
I
to.
know, I understand that. I'm not talking about divorce. I'm just saying that when
Mhm.
you said that worked, I'm just
Yeah.
saying, did it really?
Okay.
Were all marriages? I mean, they may have functioned, but were those two people happy? Were they
Yeah.
really happy with the person that they
Yeah.
went to bed with every night? That's all.
Mhm.
That's all I'm saying. But
Okay.
for me, again, as far as age goes, I think you're as old as you feel. Um, do whatever you think makes you happy as you get older, because we are all going to get old. We each age every single day. Every day that we wake up, you are older. And you just make the best of it, because no matter if you live to be 10 or live to be 100, life is short. And you're going to wake up one day, and I hope you people don't wake up one day and say, I wish I could have, would have, when you could have. So, on that note, everyone, thank you so much for joining us.
Can I say one more real quick thing? I
Yep.
won't make it long. I think, Bob, that's an awesome. What you saying you struggle with, I guarantee you, bro, that's growth too. To hear some of y'all sides of things, especially coming from somebody ideals and intellect I respect, it gives you growth. So although you might struggle with these shows, I guarantee you in the long run you're gonna be better for it, because it just fosters growth. I really think that, and so yeah, bro, it's hey man, and you hang in there whether you like it, you just stick in there, and so that's the main thing. So yeah, that's the awesome part of this show.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the part that I like. Just to add on, is that everybody's respectful,
Yeah.
Yes.
so it's good.
Yep.
And also,
Cheers, Rob.
Ba and I are going to be doing our Friendly Differences show on Saturday, 12 noon Pacific, 8 p.m. UK time, and we are going to be talking about disabilities. And it's kind of going from the show we did last week and the obesity thing and the airport and the plane, and just we're just going to be talking about disabilities as a whole. So, Ba, you wanted to add anything?
No, I think you covered it.
Okay. Oh, and we are also and I are also going to get used to this logo here, this Friendly Differences. That's another reason why Bai is signing on as Friendly Differences. Get to know that logo because we are also going to start coming on Podbean. So,
And
um,
also because I got
okay.
banned.
See, see, and don't get us banned with you and Justin doing whatever. We are not getting
Okay,
friendly. We're
okay.
not getting friendly differences banned. So y'all need to, y'all need to get a room. So, so on that note, and crazy, please send us an email on friendly differences at Gmail because we would love to
I
have
will.
you on the show. So, okay, so I'm officially wrapping it
And
up.
my $5.
Justin, I will definitely be on your show tonight. Justin's having a show tonight. It's for me is 8 p.m. Pacific. Justin, can you put in the chat what time your show is coming on? 7 p.m. your time. So 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern time. So that's for a Doomsday podcast. All right. So again, thank you for coming. I hope to see you tomorrow. And go where the wind takes you.
You forgot to
Bye.
read something.
Oh Lord have mercy. Bye. Go on, Jill. Crazy. Thank you so much, Jill. I'm gonna say friendly differences. Ba, thank you. Grid, Thomas, Juju, Power Girl, Jester, thank you. Frankie, Alpha Mike was here. Who else is here? Juju. I cannot forget Juju, my admin. Sorry, Juju. Anyway, you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.